Hi class, welcome to week 9 and 10. I made a little video this week because I wanted to talk about this week's content a little bit and introduce you to the discussion board. So if we go into this, you'll notice I put both weeks together. So mind your due dates, make sure you're taking a look at that. You'll kind of see I put the learning objectives, chapter 14 and 15 content, and so everything that you're going to need will be in here. You still have some additional content that will come for week 15. But mainly, I like to look at these chapters together just because it seems like when we talk about this stuff and food insecurity and then actually the role of school lunch and kind of how we look at that objectively, these definitely seem to go together. In addition, it's important to look at kind of like what other countries are doing and really explain kind of what the school meal program is in a place like the United States versus in a place like Uganda, for example. The one thing that you're going to be doing that I want to talk the most about is teach every child about food. And so this discussion board, you'll notice, is over the course of 2 weeks. So the reason why is it's going to take you some time. So what I have for you is a couple things to watch. This is Jamie Oliver. Jamie Oliver is a famous chef. One of the things he's kind of famous for is cooking healthy food. And he did a talk called Teach Every Child About Food. It's actually a great talk. I've used it in nutrition class and as well as this one. And so what I want you to do is watch this, and then I want you to read the background information on his TV show that he had, which was called The Food Revolution. And to give you a little bit of an idea, The Food Revolution, the idea was for him to go into schools and actually teach the people who were serving school lunches how to cook and to try to offer healthier school lunches to populations. And he went to quite a few different places. Ultimately, I think the show ended with him being in LA. And I want you to watch a little bit of the Food Revolution, season 2, episode 2. And then I also want you to watch the background on that. And then this is what you're going to analyze, because a lot of the problem we have with school lunches is a lot of people note that school lunches aren't really healthy. It's kind of a joke in my house. My kids will be like, "What's our school lunch today?" And I had to read it to them, and they're like, "That's disgusting." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, man. That's why we don't eat it." But they're also not used to eating biscuits and gravy and, fried chicken and things like that, right? Because that's not what I feed my family. And so, but a lot of children are raised under eating with a pretty loose fare. And so uh, one of the problems is, how do you change the way children view food? How do you change policy around food? What are the limitations when it comes to a school lunch, for example? When we see school lunches in other places, you see that they're really good. If you go to Japan or if you go to, France or something. But then we have to ask ourselves, well, why is that food higher quality than the food we have here? Are we solving the same problems with school lunch and so on? And so that's really when you're doing this discussion board, the kind of things I want you to be thinking about, right? And really look at make sure that when you're watching it, you're kind of taking notes too, because that'll help you. When you answer your discussion, don't just answer the questions. Think about a conversation, right? I'm trying to guide you in the conversation. I'm trying to give you these main talking points to help you guide your discussion board to make sure that it's everything that you want it to be. And then keep in mind, you want to relate your answers also to the textbook. And so you want to make sure that you've read the information, which is also why we're doing these together, because you need the information from your textbook to understand how to answer these questions in the context of the Food Revolution and what Jamie Oliver was trying to teach and say. All right. Well, you will also have a quiz. The quiz is not till next week. It hasn't been loaded in yet, but you'll see that at the end of the week. And past that, this is your primary assignments for this week. So have a great time with it. And I'll let you know when I add the additional Chapter 15 lecture and the quiz. Take care.